do you have the feeling, and you're giving this talk at a game convention, so of course there's not only composers in the, it's not a composer or a music convention.
There were a few composers in the audience as well. I think you all know them, but
yeah. And do you believe that the game industry, or mostly maybe a very generic thing, is that they have to be educated about this? Do you think they're not aware of the possibilities that music may hold?
Yeah, yes. Even more so after I did that talk, because apparently it was news to many people. And I was a bit surprised by that. And also a lot of game directors don't care too much about music. Not all of them know the importance of music. A lot of them do, but some of them, it's like, yeah, shit, we need music. So we've got 2 months. Can we call someone? What? It's the number of zeros is correct. Do we have to pay them more than 100 euros? It's like, come on. So not only do they need to take music seriously, they need to involve their composers way earlier in the process, because it's a two-way street. The music also sort of informs some aspects of game design, and they should be aware of the possibilities. You could go orchestral with a smaller budget, but you also could, have a mix, and there's just a lot more possible. But start with music from the moment you make your budget. If you and you get this online nonsense, 5% for the audio is a great budget. No, maybe when you're making a AAA game with thousands of people working on it, then 5% is fine. But in general, look at 15, 20%.
Yeah, for maybe a trailer, let's say a trailer's been made for $1 million, and you say 10%, 20% for the music, then that's great. You're doing pretty well. But if you say 5% from an indie budget and there's almost nothing, then you can't survive from that.
No, definitely not. And also, especially if you have games with a long play time, that procedurally generated games, well, the games themselves are not procedurally generated, but with procedurally generated levels and worlds.
Would be nice.
Yeah. They tend to have a very long play time. So I know of, Unexplored 1 and 2 are games that some people play for hundreds of hours. If you put in, 30 or 45 minutes of music, that gets repetitive really quickly. So you need, a lot of music as well. And I don't think enough game directors realize how super annoying music can be when it becomes repetitive. So also the amount of music is very important as well, and how you implement it and stuff like that. But you can't say we're going to make a game that's being played for 100 hours, and we've got 2,500 euros for the music. That's insane. That's just really stupid. But you do have to educate a couple of them. Yeah, definitely.
It's a big experience, music. For me and for our games, like we love it so much that we say we need to marry those two, the visual and music. It's very important. It's very important to get you into the atmosphere, to kind of make you forget the corners of the screen. Yeah. So it's funny enough for me, it always came natural that was a very important thing in media production, entertainment productions like we do. So I never really was aware that people needed to be educated now, because it became so natural to me.
Yeah, but you are a musician and you have been creating music for such a long time. So that's that's where you come from. But imagine people. Sometimes I've worked with people who don't even, like turn up the sound when they turn on the sound when they play a game. Yeah. Not just for testing purposes, but like watching YouTube videos whilst playing a game.
Yeah.
So imagine with that mindset, developing a game. Why would we need audio anyway? And it's like, oh yeah, but that's people aren't playing games like that. Like with an online card game, like a Magic the Gathering or a Hearthstone, people tend to, like put a video next to it. I get that, but it's still important. But like with Deliver Us Mars, for instance, you don't play that game and watch a YouTube video next to it. That wouldn't make sense.
Hey there, I appreciate you watching the video. If you like this one, check out this video or that video. And if you want to support the channel, make sure to click on top of my head on the logo and subscribe to the channel.